study will be over fractions to decimals. As you can tell, I've written many fractions right here. However, there are two methods to turn fractions to decimal. There is the out of 100 method, and there's the tie-bow method. Let's start with the left side, out of 100. So what makes these fractions out of 100 and these fractions tie-bow? Do you see how this denominator 4 goes into 100? Does 20 go into 100? Does 5 go into 100? Does 25 go into 100? Does 5 go into 100? That is the reason why these are out of 100. However, can 3, 8, and 6 go into 100? No. Since they cannot go to 100, you will have to use the tie-bow method. We'll talk about the right side in a few minutes. Let's start with the first fraction, 3/4. What is 3/4 of a dollar? So you do, can you turn 3/4 to 100 out of 100? How many 4s go into 100? 25 times. So, if you multiply by the scale factor of 25, you get 75 hundredths. How would you say that as a decimal? 0 and 75 hundredths. So 3/4 is equivalent to 7,500, which is equivalent to 0 and 75 hundredths. Let's look at our next example. 7/20. What is 7/20 of a dollar? How many 20s go into 100 cents? 5 times. So you multiply by a scale factor of 5, and the numerator is 35 hundredths. How would you write 35 hundredths as a decimal? 0 and 35 hundredths. So 7/20 is equivalent to 0 and 35 hundredths. Let's look at the next example. You have 4/5 of a dollar, or 100 cents. How many 5s go into 100? 20 times. So you multiply by a scale factor of 20, and you get 80 hundredths. How would you write that as a decimal? 0 and 80 hundredths. You can even write it as 0 and 8 tenths. Because remember, if you fix a 0 right here, put a placeholder here, it becomes the exact equivalent number, decimal. So 4/5 is equivalent to 0 and 80 hundredths, or 0 and 8 tenths. Next one, you have 12/25 of a dollar, or 100 cents. How many quarters go into 100 cents? Or how many quarters go into a dollar? 4 times. So you multiply by a scale factor of 4, and you get 48 hundredths. So 12/25 is equivalent to 0 and 48 hundredths. And our last example, you have 7 and 2/5. Again, it's a whole number added to a fraction, so this is called a mixed number. So how many 5s go into 100? Times 20. So you get 40 hundredths, or 7 and 40 hundredths. How would you write 7 and 40 hundredths? 7 and 40 hundredths. It can also be written as 7 and 4 tenths. Remember, if you put remove this placeholder, 7 and 4 tenths is equivalent to 7 and 40 hundredths. Now, let's try these. 1/3. The tie-bow. Can 3 go into 100? Well, if I multiply by 33, that's 99. No, not exactly. So we're going to be learning something called the tie-bow method. Tie-bow represents top, in, bottom, out. So looking at this fraction, which number is on the top? 1. Which number is on the bottom? 3. It goes on the outside. Please put 3 placeholders behind us, because what's another way to say 1 or $1? With 3 placeholders. So you just do regular division now. Can 3 go in 1? No. Don't forget this decimal point. Can 3 go in 10? 3 times. 1's the remainder, bring down to 0. Can 3 go in 10? 3 times. 1's the remainder, bring down to 0. Can 3 go in 10? Why is this repeating? This is called a repeating decimal. So put a repeating bar above it. So 1/3 is the same as 333 thousandths. It's also the same as 1/3 is the same thing as 33 hundredths. And that is what it's equivalent to. Let's look at our next example. 3/8 of a dollar. Can 8 go into 100? No. I mean, you can multiply by 12 and you get 96. So if you multiply by 13, you get 104. No, cannot go into 100 cents. So let's do Tybo method. So draw a division bar. Who's on top? 3. Who's on bottom? 8. Put it on the outside. Put 3 placeholder behind it. Can 8 go on 3? No. Can 8 go on 30? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. Here's my table. Because I do not know my 8s as well as I should. So can 8 go on 30? Let's see. 3 times. So the remainder is 6. Bring down the 0. Who is closest to 60? The 7th number. That's 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. I bring down the 0. Do you see 4? Yes, it is. It's right here. 5. So, oh, I forgot my decimal point right here. Oh, no. So 3/8 is equivalent to 375 thousandths. So 3/8 is equivalent to 375 thousandths. And let's look at our last example. Can 6 go into 100 cents? No, not exactly. So we're going to have to do the Tybo method. So let me draw my division bar. Top goes in, bottom goes out. Don't forget the 3 placeholders. 1, 2, 3. And let's do our division. Wait, do you know your 6s? Let's see. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, can 6 go in 5? No. Oh, don't forget your decimal point. Can 6 go in 50? It's this one right here. Sorry for my mess. It goes in 8 times. That's an 8. So it's 48. 50 minus 48 is 2. I bring down the 0. Can 6 go in 20? 3 times. It goes in 18, so it's 2. I bring down the 0. Can 6 go in 20? It goes in 3 times. So it's, oh, look like it's repeating. So I'll put a bar above the repeating decimal numbers, digits. So it's, what's the whole number? 13. So it's 13 and 833 thousandths. 8 and 833,000. Since it's repeating, you could cover up just 3. So it also could be equivalent to 13 and 83 hundredths. So this is the study of fractions of decimal. You have to classify the fractions into different categories. Fractions that go out of 100 cents or fractions that go with Tybo. Fractions of decimals.